you again for your introduction, and I know I have a tough crowd over here, especially the 60s and 70s over here. Whatever I did to them, I know I'm going to pay tonight, all right? I hope they behave, all right? I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of basketball in Cuba, and a little bit about the history of basketball in the 60s and 70s, which is the part that I kind of jump from one era to another era. When we talk about basketball in Cuba, and maybe the basketball in Miami, we have to go back to a gentleman by name Otilio Campuzano, Capi Campuzano. For many people, yeah, they know him. For many people, was the best athlete best athlete in Cuba ever. With a lot of people, he's on the Hall of Fame of the Cuba Sport Hall of Fame, is in the Hall of Fame of the University of Havana, and he's also in the Hall of Fame of Belen. This gentleman was a doctor by profession. He was a dentist, but he dedicated his life to teach and train people in Belen. I was blessed to work and play for him for years, for 5 years specifically. He was not only a coach, he was a great coach. He was way ahead of the basketball. He was always inventing something, always doing something new for the basketball in Cuba. But not only that, he was a great teacher. He was always teaching. He was an educator. He was always giving something else for you. But he has the ability to motivate the people. He can make you play beyond 100%. A great motivator. And he is the beginning of the history in basketball, the basketball in Belen. He went to Belen in 1926, and he coached Belen until Castro kicked us out of there in 1960s. He was a basketball and a track and field coach. This individual was a great athlete. He can teach, he can motivate, he can do whatever. So we own him a lot. I had the pleasure and the honor to be coached by him for 5 years, and I think we got other individuals over here who also play for him. I think Joseito is over there, and I think there is another one who plays for him over there. On the 1920s, there was basketball in Belen. It was not organized, it was the beginning of the basketball. 1926, Capi came in and started building teams in the Belen in Cuba. In 1933, we start playing organized basketball against another high schools in Miami, in Cuba. In the 1940s, we start winning constantly and continuously, to the point that we had teams that travel over here to United States and beat the teams over here in United States. We got a team in 1946 that is on the Sport Hall of Fame of Belen. This team was undefeated for 2 consecutive years. Not only that, he came to Miami, played 5 games over here and won 4 of the games. And he played against Miami Beach High School. He played against Homestead at that time. There was a high school in Ponce de Leon. Jesuit was a high school. The Jesuit school was a high school. San Peter and Paul was a high school. And they won 4 games and lost only 1. So this team was capable to compete at the same level that any team in United States. And they won 2 consecutive years. And maybe you can see that's the team over here. And these are the 2 teams that basically won on 45 and 46. The basketball, and as you can see on the corner, the name of that gentleman on the corner is Roberto Suarez. Roberto Suarez, if anybody remember him, is in the Hall of Fame of the Belen Sport Hall of Fame. Roberto Suarez was the director of the Miami Herald and the founder of the Miami Herald in Spanish. And he's on the Hall of Fame of Belen. He was a tremendous athlete, and he played on those 2 teams. And we got the Ordóñez, the Balbonas, the Garcia Miros. All those people were great athletes at that time, and they competed, and they put the Belen basketball right where it should be. And then we came the 50s. The 50s was very good for Belen. Tremendous teams. We got 2 undefeated teams on 15 and under. We got undefeated team on 18 and unders. We went all the way to 1958. In the 1958, we were kicked out. We were kicked out of the league. Belen was kicked out of the league. All right. And maybe everybody knows there was a big fight, and we ended up in the street. Right. So it was created. That was the athletic organization for Cuba, and it was very competitive because all the high school in Cuba would compete on that, and we were kicked out of that league. And the Catholic League was created over there. Was a little bit less competition. Was not as much competition as we used to have. And all the way, and then on the 60s, then we came to Miami.